about them, how matchups are, if there's any strong tendencies. So I think it's week to week.
How much of an advantage is it to have an extra week to prepare for Penn State?
Well, I think our bye comes at a good time. There's always that party that says we're kind of on a roll here, but I also think it's a long season. Training camp started a week early this year, so we've been at it for a while. So I think we had some time off after the game, and they'll have some more time off this weekend. As much mentally as anything to recharge them for that stretch run.
Last year, you had to go to Wisconsin at night, to Penn State at night. This year, they are at home, but it's at night, and then here. How much of an advantage is it for the home team and disadvantage for the visiting team?
It's always great to be in a horseshoe. It doesn't matter who or when. But I think that's part about going on the road. That's what makes why it's harder to win on the road than at home.
Greg, you talked about how important it is to get a mental break with the bye week, but with as few snaps as some of the starters have played recently, are you able to attack the bye week a little harder in practice than you otherwise would? Get them a few more snaps or something like that? Or no?
Maybe, but I think the reps are inconsistent. I think the D-line has lower rep totals. I know Damon Webb played 56 plays, Jordan Fuller 53, 56, whatever it was. Now, that's not a full game, but that's pretty close. So I think every coach has to do a good job of managing his reps. We set a template or a practice schedule that there's this many plays, and then it's our job to manage our position and make sure that, the neat thing about the defensive staff is every one of them is experienced coaches. So they understand when to put the pressure on, when to pull it off. And I think so far it's been a really good week. We have one more day of work, and if we can close it out the way we did the first 2 days, it'll be a productive week.
How has Damon Webb played this year?
I think he's played well. Yeah, he's in charge of a lot out there. He's got a new guy with him in Jordan, and I think they're really starting to get a chemistry together. But when you turn it over every year, it's there's something to having, especially at safety, when you have your safeties just when they play for a while together, they almost don't have to talk. They know what each other are thinking because they watch film together all the time. They're in meetings together. They practice together. So I'm hopeful that's where we're headed right now with those two guys.
Coach, is there a
Jordan forward?
How much has he helped Jordan get situated in the setting?
Well, I think he's helped our whole room. I really do. I think Damon is, he's the elder statesman, the guy came into this season with experience, and he's a very smart football player. So he helps me. He forgets stuff. He's like, hey, coach, remember we said this? You're right. So he's really a sharp guy.
With Jordan getting more comfortable, do you give him more responsibilities, more tasks, new things each week?
We expect more. Is probably the way. This past week with Arnett's suspension, he played nickel, so he had a different job on sub downs, and he really did a good job. I was pleased with the way he did that. So, there's an old saying: the more you can do. He's starting to get to be that guy. So.
Was Damon the same way last year, or did he need to kind of fill the void with Malik and Warner's?
Damon was, Damon wasn't a starter either coming into the year, so he was kind of getting his feet under him, as well as he was the guy making all the checks back there. So that was a big responsibility on him. I think it's easier for him this year with the experience he has.
Coach, how much of a different approach are you going to take to Penn State, given the what their offense has been able to do up to this point this year, compared to some of the teams that you've been playing who haven't had as good of an offense?
Well, every week we game plan, right? So we have it's like going to a buffet. There's all the food there. You're not going to eat everything. That's the same way our defense is. We're not going to. Certain weeks we have certain calls that we say they're up. They're live. And that's what training camp's for. You get all the stuff ready, and that's the whole menu. And then you select what fits best against the team you're playing. And the challenge when you have 2 weeks is you have to make sure you don't put too much on that menu, that game plan, because you have a little extra time and you really watch them and study them extra. And you got to make sure, because it still comes down to what do the players feel comfortable doing.
What's the staple on the plate?
Huh?
What are the staples for the plates? What do you have to have?
Well, you got to have quarters. You got to have man free. You got to have some blitz stuff. Those are always going to be there. And it's just kind of
one last question.
It's really the percentages that each gets in a given game. You try to predetermine that, but the games twist and turn. Yeah. And this game, the first half and this past game, they stuck right to their personality. Second half, I think they, with the exception of a token run here and there, it was throw every down, which I understand, but that's not who they were. So you have to be ready to adapt.
What's been the emphasis this week? Urban Meyer said, obviously 303 yards passing last week by them. Didn't really like to see a couple of those came on some chunk plays, as you call it, but what's just the emphasis this week in that regard, Greg, of shoring things up?
Well, I think it's details. At this level, the highest level of college football, the margin of error is so slim. And one little step here, one little misalignment there can be the difference between a 77-yard play and a 7-yard play.